that is a job done right?
I don't think there is a bad culture in the FBI, and I don't think the problems that manifested themselves during the 2016 election are endemic to the institution. I think the FBI is doing its job. I mean, just this recent case out in California where they interdicted this, would-be bomber. They do great work around the country every day, and I agree with Senator Kennedy, who said, it's the premier law enforcement institution in the world. I believe that, and I say to the extent there was overreach, I don't want to judge people's motives and come to a conclusion on that, but to the extent there was overreach, what we have to be concerned about is a few people at the top getting it into their heads that they know better than the American people.
And that is the problem, and that is what we hope that you are you're addressing. Let's go back to this, because to the report, to produce it, I think that Mr. Mueller assembled what would be called a dream team, 19 all-star lawyers, a Watergate prosecutor, a deputy solicitor general, a fluent Russian speaker who cloaked for 2 Supreme Court justices, former head of the Enron Investigative Task Force, chief of the Public Corruption Unit in the Manhattan U.S. Attorney's Office, federal prosecutors who have taken down mob bosses, the mafia, and ISIS terrorists. Do you consider these lawyers to be the best and the brightest in the field?
Not necessarily.
Are they the warriors you would want on your side in the courtroom?
I mean, there are a lot of great lawyers in the Department of Justice. He assembled a very competent team.
Are they meticulous investigators who will hunt down every witness and every piece of evidence?
I think they are tenacious investigators.
Are they devoted to finding the truth?
Yes.
Are they masters at taking down hardened criminals, foreign and domestic?
Yes.
If there were evidence to warrant a recommendation for collusion charges against the president, do you believe the special counsel team would have found it?
Yes.
And if there were evidence to warrant your recommendation for obstruction of justice charges against the president, do you believe the Mueller team would have found it?
I think that they had they canvassed the evidence exhaustively they didn't reach a decision on it. But the question you've just been asking raises a point I wanted to say when Senator Hirono was talking, which is, how did we get to the point here where the evidence is now that the president was falsely accused of colluding with the Russians and accused of being treasonous and accused of being a Russian agent, and the evidence now is that was without a basis. And 2 years of his administration have been dominated by the allegations that have now been proven false. And, to listen to some of the rhetoric, you would think that the Mueller report had found the opposite.
And, Mr.